Okay, now we're on to carving pumpkins, everyone. This is probably one of my favorite things to do. I get so excited over it. I think we do multiple pumpkins per person in our household every year. And now we have little Emmett, so I'll be able to carve his too. I mean, I'm going to teach him how to carve, but not just for me, of course. All right, let me just talk a little bit about some of the books that you see on the graphics below. The one that is not on there, that is a very new title as well, is The Book of Growing Food. So this is a really nice hardcover book. It's also spiral bound. So you open it up and it has the whole spiral bound here. Very thick, durable pages. I mean, they're not just paper thin. And this book is so cute because it could just flap through, and the table of contents will tell you obviously everything that's in it. So it goes on about you know, before you start, what type of equipment you need, how the plants or the food actually grows, and it actually tells you, you know, peas in a pot, sprouting beans, bush beans, shallots, carrots, zucchini, raspberries, popcorn, like literally everything. So it walks you through what comes very first with the soil and the sun, and what's necessary for these things to grow and how they grow. And what you need to maintain them. So really cool gift, especially if you have any gardeners in your family or if you love to garden yourself. This would be an awesome gift to give your little ones. I know it's kind of, you know, not gardening season at the moment. I mean, there's some harvesting going on, but I think this would be an awesome springtime book as well. I mean, it even tells you about storage of the different foods. So it's really cool about canning and everything.
Look at it.
Okay.
I made a triangle.
She made a triangle out of Play-Doh while I'm doing this, she said. I can only imagine the mess I'm going to walk over to in a second. Next up, again, this is, oh, it is on the graphic, just kidding. It all starts with a seed, how your food grows. So it's very similar to the book that I just showed you, except for this is a little bit bigger, however, a little more thin. It's not the spiral bound, and this one here is $14.99, whereas the spiral bound is also $14.99. I thought this was going to be a little bit more, to be honest with you. But that's actually very cool.
Mommy, can I have this one too?
Yes, 1 second, Belle. I need to finish this, and then I will do that for you. Okay. So it all starts with a seed. It tells you like the seed progression as well. I mean, it's very similar to the one I just showed you. I'll just flip through the pages so you can see the illustrations and the text. There's little tidbits of text, which is wonderful for little ones to be able to follow along. It's more illustration than actual verbiage. Which helps a lot, because then it allows us as parents to be able to pick up and kind of explain the things to them. Maybe we just read the little tidbits, because I tell you what, I didn't know half of this stuff because I'm not a gardener or a farmer, and it's actually taught me a lot. And I end up reading the text and I end up just explaining it into my own words for them. So it's pretty cool, Next up is how flowers grow. So same concept, it tells you from literally the very beginning to the very end, as far as the leaves falling and so forth and harvesting and all of that. We just got this spring. It was a really cool experience, because I'm all about experiences if you can't tell already. Basically I got the little different flower pots and took Bella to Home Depot, and we picked out a bunch of little flower pots, the soil, flowers that she wanted to grow, as well as herbs. So we did like a little herb garden, and I let her do flowers after reading this book, and then she was in charge of helping these flowers to grow. So she really understood, you know, that the flowers need the water, the soil, and the sun, and the nutrients in the soil to grow. We reviewed it every night before she went to bed. That was one of her little chores that she was put in charge of, was to water her plants. And she did an amazing job at it, and she got so excited to actually watch these plants grow. And all of the cool things in this Lift the Flap book, she got to put into practice firsthand. So it's a memorable experience that I know she will never forget. And when we go to do it next year, you know what? I bet you she'll be able to almost read this book herself to me and remember everything, because she still remembers it till this day, and that was months away. So a lot of Lift the Flaps, a lot of cool stuff. Again, our Lift the Flaps are really hard, thick material pages. So awesome. Really cool. Alright, so that's how do flowers grow. And last but not least, I have questions and answers about food. So this is another Usborne Lift the Flap, very hard book, thick pages. And this is $14.99, this series. We have a whole question and answer series. We have it about germs, about knowledge of the world, about earth, about food, and so forth. So there's a lot of different books in this series as well. And it's another Lift the Flap. There's a lot more information on these pages than in that series of the first question and answers. So that How Do Flowers Grow was actually the first question and answers book, and this is the Stage Hop is the next questions and answers. Okay, very cool. She thinks she made a triangle. That's not a triangle. What shape is that?
Square.
A square. Very good. They love it. They love
I'm
it.
gonna cut it, guys, and roll it.
She's gonna cut the Play-Doh and roll it. But I just wanted to explain the difference because I keep saying Lift the Flap, but all of our books come in different series. Of course, I already went over that, but come in different levels. So we have like the Peek Inside, which is the very young ones, and then you have the Look Inside and the See Inside. So it all depends on the age range of your child. Then when you move over to the flat books, you have the very first flat books, Lift the Flap books, and then you have just Lift the Flap books. So again, it goes up in age range. However, Bella still has learned a lot from this series, so do not discount it. If you see a book that you end up really liking and think your little one should learn, I highly recommend still getting it. It is a lot more information, and there's a lot more flaps, and the text is a little bit more, but I tell you what, she loves it. I mean, will she sit through this entire book with all of these flaps in one sitting? No. But it doesn't matter because it's still phenomenal information that she loves to read. And I think that, and I felt it was important, especially food right now with her. Guys, I have like the pickiest eater in the world, and fighting with a toddler, which I'm sure some of you know to eat, is like the end of the world. So I got a lot of food books to explain to her the importance of food, and it's been working. Slowly but surely it's been working.
Can you open this one?
So Usborne does have a book probably for every, life challenge or parent challenge that you're currently going through. One potty training book for her. I could get her to pee on the potty no problem whatsoever right before she was 3, and she would not poop on the potty to save the life of me or her until I got an Usborne book, What is Poop? And she mastered it right away. And that was one of the very first Lift the Flap books. It's a really funny book. And so between that, she was going through a phase of kind of like nervous and anxious and caring what other people thought of her. And there's Jonathan James and the What If Monster, and that focuses on coping skills with anxiety for young children. And there's actually a plush toy that comes with it, and that helped tremendously with that with her as well. Cordelia is another very, very good one for empowering young ladies. And like I said, the food books have helped a little bit, at least, because she's realizing, oh, I can't have sugar all the time. I can't have all these cake and ice creams. I do need to eat my vegetables too to grow big and strong and have the nutrients. Like she's actually telling me these things on her own now because I'm reading these books to her. So it's helped me lower my my, not temper, but I guess, better my patience. That's probably a better term. Better my patience with her with eating just by reading these books has helped me with them. So can't wait to see what's in number 6, guys. Thanks.